Hi guys, and welcome to another video lesson. Hope you're doing okay. Today we're going to be taking a look at the Ringo. So let's go and grab our sticks and let's go do this. So first up, let's address the question of who is this Ringo guy? Well, he is Ringo Starr, the drummer from the Beatles. If you don't know who the Beatles are, stop this video right now and go and find out, and then come back and finish this video. You absolutely have to know who the Beatles were. Ringo Starr was their drummer. He was also the voice of the Fat Controller in Thomas the Tank Engine, which has nothing to do with what we're going to do today, but is very, very cool and is worth mentioning. If your CV is drummer for the Beatles and voice of the Fat Controller, you've made it, you're there. All done. Okay, so let's have a look at the Ringo groove in its entirety. Let's look at the whole thing and then we'll break it down and we'll work it out together. Here comes the groove that we're aiming for today. So the Ringo is created by adding an extra snare drum on 2 and. So we're going to have a look at the first half of the bar that has that extra snare drum in it. I'm going to play at 70 beats per minute and I'm just going to play 1 and 2 and then I'm going to rest beats 3 and 4 and I'm going to loop that round and round. Try and play along with me if you can. If you can't, don't worry, pause the video, master this first half in your own time on your own and then come back and we'll tackle the next bit together. Here's the first half. So how'd you get on with that? All good? Ready to move on? Great. So second half. Well, good news here. There's no extra bass drums, no extra snare drums. It's a standard quaver groove, 3 and 4 and 1 bass drum, 1 snare drum. So this time I'll rest beats 1 and 2 and I'll play that second half of the bar and I'll go round and round a few times with that. Try and join in with me if you can, but again, if not, pause the video, work it out on your own and then come back and we'll finish the groove off together. Right, let's put those two halves together and complete the Ringo groove. Try and play along with me if you can, but again, don't worry if you need to pause the video and have a bit of time on your own to work this one out, that's fine. Here it comes. Once we've mastered the groove, for an extra challenge, let's try playing it as a 3-1 resolve. A 3-1 resolve, remember, 3 bars groove, in this case, the new Ringo groove, and 1 bar fill. I'm going to go for a quaver fill around the kit with 4 bass drums in it, but if you've got a different fill that you prefer to stick in there, that's great, go for it. I'm also going to put a crash at the beginning of the resolve. Quick word on this, when you add a crash cymbal, you're actually not adding a crash cymbal, you're replacing the hi-hat cymbal with that crash cymbal. So it's not an extra note, it's still beat 1, but instead of being over on your hi-hat, it's going to be up on the crash cymbal with that bass drum. Here's what I'm talking about. Try and play along with me if you can, but again, feel free to pause the video if you need to. Here it comes. Applications, famous examples of this? Well, the Beatles would be where I would start. This is the Ringo. Ringo didn't use this exclusively, he did play other grooves, of course he did, but this was his go-to groove. If you spoke to any drummer and said, can you play me the Ringo, they would play something pretty much close to or identical to what we've been looking at today. This was his signature groove. Absolutely nothing wrong with that. Very few drummers can claim to have something that was named specifically after them. Ringo didn't invent this groove, but he made it famous by playing it quite a lot in the Beatles. Have a listen to some of their songs, see if you can spot it. So what have we learnt today? Well, we've been looking at the Ringo groove, which is created by adding an extra snare drum to 2 and. You can create lots of different grooves, not just the Ringo, by adding, subtracting, or moving different bass and snare drums around the bar. This is something we're going to look at in future lessons. We also, and arguably most importantly today, looked at who Ringo's star was. If you are a drummer, you absolutely have to know who this guy is. It's not optional, it's compulsory. I've told you now, you have to know who this guy is. Okay, so that's it for today's lesson on the Ringo. I hope you enjoyed it. If you've got any questions, feel free to get in touch. If you're watching this on YouTube, stick a comment down below. I will get back to you as soon as I can. Thanks for watching, guys. Stay safe and enjoy your drumming.